Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the Ford Maverick Tremor. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Kengar Ford here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with this Maverick Tremor. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering the Maverick Tremor is a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 250 horsepower and then 277 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood, you guys can see it's raised there on either side. It actually looks pretty cool. And then notice how the headlights have been darkened for the Tremor package. We also have LED headlights, as you can see. And then a lot of people are trying to tell me that this is orange with the accenting for the Tremor package. It's more like a bronze or a gold. And that is also on the tow hooks as well. But anyways, putting it all together, I think the front end of this looks really sharp. Coming around the side here, tire and wheel setup is 235, 65, 17 in the front and over in the rear. You guys can see we've got these all-terrain tires. The Maverick Tremor is also lifted compared to a regular Maverick, and you've got the accenting so you know where to air down or air up. We've got XLT here on the side because this one's built off of the XLT package, and then Tremor there on the back. And here's your full side view with the lifted stance that the Tremor package gives. I think this thing looks pretty sweet. So here's our key fob. We have the little flip out key right here, and then you've got your lock and unlock function and the Ford logo there on the back. And popping into the bed, this is not dampened, so you do have to kind of like use your arm so don't let it fall. But the Maverick's actually pretty practical when it comes to storage space. I mean, for being such a small utility vehicle, it has a pretty large bed. And when you're all done, just plop that up. It's actually really light. Maverick again, and then of course another Tremor badge. Got the taillights here. Those are also kind of darkened, it looks like. And then receiver hitch there at the bottom. Putting it all together, I think that this looks really cool again for a Maverick. The Tremor package always just makes trucks look cooler. Now popping inside, we've got blue here and all over the rest of the door panel, and then some kind of gray to contrast it. And then here are the seats. I think the inserts here are pretty interesting with the cloth, and then again, you got the bronze stitching, definitely not orange. Now again, for being a small vehicle, it's actually pretty practical with the space. Got a little charging port here in the back. Headroom's really good because it's kind of like boxy. And of course we have a cup holder armrest. Now taking a look at the front door panel here, you guys can see the padding down below, and then we've got all of our window controls here, our mirror adjustments, and then there's a quick look at the mirrors. They do have a little convex mirror to help out with your blind spot. Taking a look at the front seat, we've got the Tremor logo there, and then again with the cloth here, the seat is manually adjustable. 1,252 pounds of payload for those of you wondering. And then we've got our light control here, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. Ooh, got a little flip out key action. That's fun. So here is the steering wheel, pretty basic with the material use. I've got some controls there for the center stack, cruise control, and then our regular stalks on the back. So we've got this like half analog, half digital gauge cluster here in the center, and I can scroll through some different menus, see different bits of info on stuff within the truck itself. And then I do have a drive mode select that I can go through. So you got a normal, tow haul, slippery, mud ruts, sands, and then back to normal with the drive modes. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera with zoom function, and then also trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and then a little storage cubby right next to it. As for the rest of the infotainment system, response time is pretty good. I like how Ford uses their older, what is this, Sync 3? Looks like Sync 3, I think. Either way, kind of fun. Anyways, analog controls for the radio down below, and then your auto stop start's kind of thrown in the mix as well. And then also blue on the dash, which actually looks pretty cool, and it's also down below. Single zone climate here, got some USB action, dial shifter for that 8-speed automatic, parking brake, and then your drive mode select. Now this has a twin clutch system in the rear, so actually I'm pointing the wrong thing. For the locking differential, again, twin clutch system. Also have your 4-wheel drive lock, stability control, off-road cruise control, and then you can see here in the center, also nice padding there on the top. And then, ooh, we got the original window sticker, so we'll see how much this bad boy originally cost. But before we do that, here is your manual mirror dimmer and then letter colored headliner. Now this truck is pre-owned, so this doesn't represent current pricing, obviously, but this is the original window sticker to this one, 23. You can see 300A equipment group, and they didn't really add much to this, kept it pretty base. There's your total original MSRP, $31,000. The first Maverick Tremor I reviewed was over $40,000. So like this is quite a bit more affordable in this XLT package. Let's see how it drives. Okay, well, setting off in the Maverick Tremor. First off, you guys can see visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors. Slow down here for a second. About the rest of the rear, it's really good. It's basically a box, right? So that's solid. And I'm actually driving this the same day that I drove an Escape with the 2.0 turbo. So I guess I'm driving this powertrain twice today. Now, the Tremor, obviously being a slightly heavier vehicle, doesn't feel nearly as quick as the Escape, but I mean, it moves. Definitely moves. Now, being unibody, independent suspension, handles really well. Ride comfort's also good. So definitely a lot to like about that. But you obviously lose the isolation you get with the body on frame vehicle. So there is that part of it. And we'll see how this... That's quick. Yeah, that's definitely quick. I mean, it rockets out, that's for sure. So I think that's pretty impressive. Now, aside from that, going over the bumps, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really drive too much different than a regular Maverick, to be honest. It's pretty similar. Being a Maverick, it handles really well for a pickup truck thing, whatever you want to call it. So I think that's impressive. So let's get into, summing things up here with this Maverick Tremor. First off, with the exterior styling, I think that it looks really cool with this Tremor package. I think the interior is fun. I think that a lot of you might like this interior more than the regular Maverick interior because it's kind of more neutral in a sense. Drives really well. It's got good power. I guess the only thing is, like, I don't think anyone's gonna, like, I'm sure some people take this off-road, but I feel like most people won't take this off-road because, again, if like real off-roaders have at least a solid rear axle, I feel like, and then, body on frame typically. I mean, look at the new Ford Bronco, independent front suspension, solid rear axle, body on frame. But I mean, it's still cool that Ford's doing this because Ford understands that there's a lot of people that want to look the part, even though they're never gonna do the part, right? So I don't think it's a bad thing. But let me know what you guys think about the Maverick Tremor. Let me know if you guys think this is a real truck, and if you think this is a real off-roader. 9.4 inches of ground clearance, that to me says this is a real off-roader, even though you do the tippy, picking wheels up and everything off-roading. I think that I think it qualifies.